Hello guys, si Kersan Veloso ulit ito at welcome sa episode 11 ng laro tayo ng Disco Elysium. So teka, check ko lang si OBS sandali dali lang. Wait lang. Okay. Ayos siya, nagre-record na maayos, so continue. So, let's go. Episode 11. And last episode natin, marami-rami rin tayo nagawa kahit paano. Naibigay natin yung isa sa pinagagawa sa atin ni Everett, yung binuksan yung pinto. Tapos ito ngayon, hinahanap natin yung nakausap natin dun sa sa balcony. Andito siya posible. Room 28 daw eh. So teka. Hanapin natin, teka. Ayan. A note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Teka. Kaya para sigurado, gagawa ko ng save file. Teka. Save. Dali lang. Mali. I-reload ko tapos save ko ulit. Dali lang. Mali. Tapos isa pa. Okay, pwede natin continue. Ano reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Ano buksan yun? May pintuan doon pero teka, ito na. Boarded up, teka. Kaya lang, baka mapagalitan tayo. Huwag na lang. Subok ko sana force open pero huwag na lang. Pintuan. Sa likod na tayo ng building. May box to, no? May natin ka. Ano yun? Plastic tear. Basura lang pala.
You better keep walking.
Ano yun? Basura rin, okay, go. May tao dito pwede ka usapin.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier. Cindy Dascal hanggang sa pangalan, ha?
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Hepatitis C. We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive. Don't use that tone with me. I am the law. Let's start with your blood type. Dali lang, guys. Let's start with your blood type and go from there. Hep? Yeah. When were you last tested? Just answer some questions, okay? Uh, number 1.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Fuel oil. You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at? What are you doing to the wall? Do you know anything about the recent murder? Is that heavy fuel oil? Catch you later, Cindy. Sige.
Red dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
He says studying the contents of Cindy's bucket.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Fumes are bad for you, okay? You'd better hand it over. That's some clever culture commentary. Sige to. Wag to, baka may mabad trip sa atin yan eh.
You ain't seen nothing yet, piggy boo.
You keep looking off the side. What are you looking at? What are you doing to the wall? Do you know anything about... ayoko itanong yan, medyo delikado eh. Ato, number 1 na muna.
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
May... ano nagawa nila dun? She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat dock next to the pier.
Hatred? Disgust? It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
Well, then...
You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to us on.
Ben? Wag naman na. Wag natin tanongin man. Delikado yung mga tanong na yan eh. Catch later, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Okay, 9 minutes. 9 to 10. Teka. May pintuan din dito. Teka. Tingnan mo natin na sa taas. Item tayo nakuha, no? Ay, mga basura. Ano kaya nandito sa box na to? Nice. Cash na naman. 225. The door is locked. You can't get in. Ano yung thought na yan? Above, stars flap in the wind. Forgotten hammers and mail something. Di mo dinampot? 806. May pintuan din dito. May napasok tayong room. 100 tiny feet scurrying beneath the grate. The rats of the city. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Malamang. Ito muna. Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Dito nakatira yung ano, yung janitress. Nice. 12:45. Yan. Pearl home labor jeans. -1 reaction speed tapos 1 execution. Nope. Sige kunin. Tapos benta na lang if ever. Hindi ba ano yun? Ito naman isang pintuan. Doon sa ano, yung nasa docks. May nakita ako dito. Ano to? Ano yun? Half-light. Signal blue naval coat. Plus 1 suggestion. Bilhin na lang. Kunin na lang din. Ayoko nang may negative sana as much as possible. Ito rin pala minus din eh. Authority, yung isa. Minus rhetoric. Minus SPT core. Logic. Surfer. Ito pala positive. Parehong plus to, okay. Yung hat ang minus. Hat, tapos tong shoes. Hat, shoes, tsaka yung glasses. Yung isang glasses natin sa. May negative din eh. Galang. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. Cape Side Apartments. Rue de Saint Ghislaine Roundabout North. Meron pa ba tayo na iwan dito? Wala na. Ito na. Bumalik tayo sa ano ba to? Plastic tear. O nga no, umikot lang tayo dun, okay ah. May connect pala ron, hindi ko napansin. Stick there. Ano yan? Looks like there was more construction here once, decades ago. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint Guillain, 33A. Ito may item eh. Magnesium. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Your room in the whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Ito na yung kanina. Teka, save natin, tapos kausapin natin siya.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of
Joyce
the sailing
Messier.
boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Joyce L? What does the L stand for? RCM, what is that? I'm a little foggy here. What gave us away? Shake her hand. Don't shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
You're on a boat. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What can you tell me about this strike? What can you tell me about this lynching? You seem rich. Can I have some money? Thank you. That's all for now. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do? Fair enough. Tell me something else. Okay.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
How much money does Wild Pines have? Got it. Tell me something else. Wag na to.
She nods.
What can you tell me about the strike? You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this. Reality we're in. What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to what if I want to hear about trade secrets? What is your role in this precisely? I have other questions. Ito na lang.
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Pasaway eh. You mean Jean-Luc? My race mentor? He's a great teacher, a man of virtue. Nope. How are the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this Gaumont? What are their demands? The scouts at the gate, did you put them there? What do you think of Everett? Hindi pa nga niya nakakausap eh. Ito na. What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Malamang. Si Everett lang gumawa niyan eh. I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive kami posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it. I wanted to ask something else about the strike. Number 3 parang eh. Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board.
What does that even mean? Most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Dami ah.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers. What are you going to do? Number 2 na lang muna.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
Ang magandang tanong yan.
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Ay, kimanyanya narinig.
This checks out. No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines Group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
Oh, may point in logic ah. Kasi ito natin. What happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to. How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Ganun na ba yan? Okay then, cool. Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What do you think of Everett?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Talaga lang? Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
That's Everett, alright. He's not that bad. Number one.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are two of them? Two of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Nagpapalitan sila.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clear? Let's take this back to the strike. Ato mo na.
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of local working men. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. Number 3.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections. Kailangan alamin natin to.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie. It happens. Some kind of extortion probably. O malamang.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Medyo, para gusto ko para ayoko itanong to eh. Pero yun na lang natitira eh. Tanong na rin natin. The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrog, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Okay, fine. That's all I need. That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
You're on a boat. What can you tell me about the lynching? You seem Ito muna. By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare.
You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally, time to choose sides.
I didn't. He's a beautiful man, beautiful and just. Everett Clare is a hero of the workers movement. He's a champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. Can do business with him for a social. For I can do business with him for a socialist. He's reasonable. He's not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. It's not important if I like him. I was doing my job. I did. He's a beautiful man. Nope. It's not important if I like him. I was doing my job. Mm. Ah, natitempt ako dito. Sige, ito na. He's a bloated rainbow socialist.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually,
She answers her own question.
corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
She looks at the ground and nods.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself.
She turns to you.
However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. He asked me to open a door. He asked me to deliver an envelope. I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. Conclude. Ito lang ang mas honest eh. Itong mga to hindi. Sige, number 1.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
No. Mr. Everett says it's almost ready to be found soon. Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. Number 1. No.
Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else?
Wag na to mga to. I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
What can you tell me about this lynching? Ito na. Ito mga to, hindi pwede itanong yan eh.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Secret task complete. Interview the Wild Pines rep.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
He returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you.
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. Yes? Go to number 3.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
Number 1.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Okay, fine. You task. Joyce's info on the lynching. There is something she wants to tell you. You just have to present her with your badge to hear it. Or perhaps, if you did her a favor, she could waive off the formality. Whatever the case, you need to know what she knows. Okay?
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
What kind of arrangement? Eto, very high naman pala eh. Suggestion. Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do. What kind of arrangement would it be?
I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
Okay, fine.
Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her. Perhaps she even knew beforehand of your affliction. A sudden pinch of paranoia comes over you.
Mataas pero wag muna. Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until then. Until I do.
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
Okay. Thank you. That's all for now.
Of course, Detective. Take care.
Okay. Save lang natin tapos balikan natin siya. Okay, go.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
About my missing badge
I'm
again.
afraid I can't say any more until we've taken care of formal protocol.
Okay, try natin.
Easy. Just offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
She wants you to help her gain leverage to restart negotiations with the Union.
Yung ano? Yung Borscht?
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Ganon.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance and, not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Oh, so we're henchmen now? Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation. Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it. The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition. Her proposal was likely part of her design. This is all. What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking? We could just, find my badge. Let's go back to her then. Ito na number 4 na siguro.
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. I'll handle it. The company must have more ears. My proposal was like... Sige, ito na lang. We ask her. Then we ask her. Then investigate briefly. But do not share the outcome of the investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching. Let's get back to her then. Pag-investigate tayo, pwede natin sabihin. Okay, fine. Okay ka rin pala, pasakay ka rin pala, Kim eh.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Ravachol through the terminal? And you want us to investigate? Number 1 muna.
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries? Am I going to need butt cutters for this? The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment.
She gives you a knowing look.
Her irises are light green, like the river Esperance in bright daylight, upstream where it's clearer.
I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Okay, fine.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier? No coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that. They're like that, is it? What proof do you have that the Union is involved? We already have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching. Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation. Proceed. Actually, let's discuss something else. Uh,
She simply nods.
Thank you. That's all for now. Kailangan namin i-research yun. Anong oras na? Grabe, late na late na. May daan pala rito, di ko alam. Connected pala yun. Last na yun. Last na ang gagawin natin yan. Kausapin natin yung mga trucks. Classic crap mechanical samples with humanitarian aid. This says humanitarian aid. Tuna fish something.
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Okay, browse through the box.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. The box smells like cat piss or like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
Find something worth salvaging from the pile of rags. At teka, save ko lang. Save natin. Okay, subukan natin yan.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes, keep saving that economy.
No good.
Wala. Reload. Try natin ng 4 more times.
You keep coming back. That's
No good.
Okay, 3 times na lang.
you keep coming back. That's good.
Something
Ayun, may nakuha.
gold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport. All in different typefaces. Practical, and yet it may deaden your senses to the world around you. possibly because of the awful typeface.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only 450 for you, sir.
Mega sporty. +1 composure, -1 shivers. Nope. Leave for now. Necessary speakers from the people of Samara.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra serious.
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Okay to Ukay-Ukay store. Inspect the sneakers. Inspect the speakers. Speakers muna.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found ultras atop them. A small heat emboss on the veneer reads, "Solidarity aid from the People's Republic of Samara." The speakers themselves don't seem to display any magical qualities.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
Okay, I look at the sneakers then. What about the speakers though? Doesn't anyone want those speakers? Political speakers. Ito muna.
Good move, officer. You won't find a deal like this anywhere.
Can't I just buy these sad-conquered Samaran speakers? Ito muna.
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 real.
Ay, mahal na ba yan? Okay ka lang?
Only? That's madness.
Uy, pero ang ganda. Minus encyclopedia nga lang. Wala tayong pambili. Leave na muna. This says food gift from the people of Messina.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
The vendor takes a pair of sunglasses and sticks them under your nose. Try the shades on. Rummage through the box. Try natin rummage through the box.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic, the kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
Okay, ito talaga. Leave for now. Save lang natin, tapos try natin, ano.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lot.
No luck. All
The shine on these sunglasses.
no luck.
Okay, tatlo pa. 3 times pa.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts.
No luck.
Okay, dalawa na lang.
shine on these sunglasses.
No luck.
Last one. Pag wala pa rin, end na lang natin. Ano na, magta-time na eh. Last na to.
The shine on these sunglasses lasts.
No luck.
Ayaw talaga. Oh, never mind. End na natin for now. So, okay, teka. Baka may gumawa na naman ng ano. Kakala ko gumawa ng autosave. Okay na yan. So, anyway guys. Kaya siya na signing off. Today na lang ulit natin itong adventure na to next episode.